Hello, my wonderful friends. Megas with you on a beautiful day in Asha. And this message, it's for someone specific. One of our wonderful friends is going through a really hard time. It seems like everything collapsed at once and is asking for prayer. But as I was putting this together, it speaks to me also, and I think this is going to speak to everyone. I love that saying. It says, "What a caterpillar calls the end of the world, a master calls a butterfly." That is so beautiful, my friends. And we need to take advantage of these hard times. And I'm going to show you why. I've also heard never waste a crisis. And my friends, during those crisis situations is when we have those phoenix moments. We got to make sure not to let it break us down, but that we break through and we rise up. And you'll find in these times, you rise up with higher ideas and living from higher morals, and we're seeing what's really important in this world. And I'm going to share something very private with you that I don't think I've ever shared with you guys. It's so hard to remember. We've been together for so many years now, shared so many stories, but I'm going to share with you my Phoenix moment, and I hope it helps. And I'll tell you what kind of set it off for me, and it's almost embarrassing. Just a few days ago, I was reading Matilda. And it's a children's book. I guess it's probably middle grade. It's a pink book. I mean, it's about a 5-year-old girl, and it broke me. And I'll tell you why. Because if you know the story, there's abuse in it. Teachers abusing children, children being kind of confined, stuck in these bad situations of her home life and at school, and being abused physically and mentally. And my friends, it brought back too many bad memories of my own. And where do I start? I think I'll start with where I broke, and then I'll get to what led up to it. But many of you know my cousin. He's the tour manager, road manager for Red Hot Chili Peppers, and he got me into one of their concerts here in Seattle, and I got to go backstage and meet them, and they treated me like royalty, food, and it was good. And then I had my passes on them with my family, and we got to go anywhere we wanted. And we're standing on the side of the stage watching, and one of the security guards for the Coliseum came up, and he was ready to fight. And he had his hand behind his back, had something, I don't know what he had, and he was in my face, ready to fight. And at that stage in my life, I was up for a fight all the time, but I was looking around, there's too much security, it was too much for me. And so he pushed us back into this little boxed area and yelling at us and stuff. And my friends, my mind was going all these different directions of what I could do or not do and what we could do later, and going to a dark place. But something happened instead. I just broke. I didn't want to fight anymore. I broke. And what it was all the things I had been holding all the way back to nursery school. I was pissed off because a teacher bit me as a punishment. Back in the day when I was a kid, things were different. They could get away with anything. They would abuse me verbally and physically for punishment, biting. They would swat you. They'd pick you up by one arm, dangling in the air, and hit you with sticks. My friends, they could beat you with boards, they'd humiliate you. I remember one teacher putting me in front of the classroom and making me sit in a trash can in front of everyone. They would humiliate you and physically hurt you, mentally hurt you. I've been abused in so many different ways throughout my childhood. And then, my friends, what are the odds that you end up in a fucking cult in Texas? I mean, that's something you see on an A&E special. It's not even real. And somehow I got into it, and it just blows my mind still to this day. I can't even understand it. And I was poisoned. I was ridiculed. I mean, I brought up in front of their church and yelled and screamed at. I mean, it was the most ridiculous thing. I mean, as a work camp, they sleep deprivation, and they'd come in and throw all the stuff out of your bunk and locker and make you move, and they'd get you up in the middle of the night and make you go to work. And they had me working at all these different jobs and just giving them the money, of course, don't touch the Lord's money, it's their money, and so it's just so ridiculous. And then when I got out of that, I went into the Army, and oh my gosh, what a shit show, and just, I mean, it was building up. And then, if it couldn't get worse, my wife runs off with my friend, and it's just, and then I'm separated from my kids. Being a dad was everything to me, and now I get to see him on the weekends, and it was just piling on me, seeing like I can't get a break, my friends, in work and jobs and everything, just so hard. And it is building up, and something seems so minor as being at a concert and a security guard just kind of forcing me into a closed area. I was about to lose my shit, my friends, and I was plotting things. Like, I was saying, okay, after the concert, I'm getting my cousin, he's a big boy, we'll get the private security, and we'll go beat the hell out of this guy, but then something, it broke in me, and it was probably about 3 weeks, my friends. I was either going to go into complete depression and breakdown, meltdown, or I was going to rise up like the phoenix, my friends. And Spirit just brought everything to me. And I needed that break because I was raised so strong. One, in the matrix religions. One of the reasons I wanted to be a pastor and a preacher was because I was so scared of God. My friends, they had put so much fear into me with their Bible and their stories and this vengeful, hateful God, and He'll take care of you as long as you fear Him and do what you're told. But if you mess up, man, you will die and then burn in hell for eternity. And I had so much fear, my friends, and I was so scared. And the only way to break that kind of mind control, when you've been brainwashed from a child, and then in the top of it, in a cult and raised in Bible colleges and all this stuff, my friends, the only way to get out of it was to completely break. And when I did, I was able to hear Spirit. All those stories and ideas went away, and I was able to start receiving those true messages from God that I've been hearing the whole time. He was always speaking, telling me, that's not who I am. I don't hate. That's not good. I don't war and kill men, women, and children. Spirit was telling me this the whole time, but I couldn't hear it because I was too scared to hear it, my friends. And that's how the dark system controls you, with that religion of fear. The state keeps you in fear, right? As long as you're doing what you're told, they'll take care of you. A lot of danger and evil out there, but the state will take care of you. Just keep giving them your money and your allegiance. Right? Give the churches your money and your allegiance. Give the state your money and allegiance. Give your life to them, and they're going to take care of you, but they never do, my friends. I had to break to hear from Spirit the truth. And I started to raise with higher ideas and higher values, my friends, than what I was taught in their matrix religions and their society and their politics. And it didn't make me very popular, but at this point now I didn't care. And I started knowing I had the truth, my friends. It started resonating in my heart what Spirit was telling me, saying, yes, that's true. And then, my friends, I got the blessing of my life. One of my neighbors, he's a religious professor, and he gave me a Zoroastrian book called The Teachings of the Magi. And I found that it's the original monotheistic religion. And it's a God that's all good. And He has no attributes of the evil spirit. He never hates. He doesn't war, kill, throwing you in hell. My friend, He's good. And I got so excited, my friends. And because of when I broke and was able to now receive this, it gave my life purpose to start sharing this message and setting other people free. It was my Phoenix moments. So many of you are maybe going through this Phoenix moment, my friends. Relationships falling apart, jobs falling apart, but it's opening you up for something higher and something new. Asha 11, if you got Asha, grab it. Asha 11 says, I will release my own ideas to receive God's ideas. We have to release our old ideas. Sometimes we don't have a choice, right? Sometimes our old ideas just leave us. Our relationships, marriages, they just take off and go. We had no choice, my friends. But if they don't just flat out go, then we have to remove the corruption ourselves. It says, removing the corruption puts potentialities to their proper use. You must burn out the impurities to find true essence. This is that Phoenix moments, my friend, where we go up in flames and what's left is pure and true. The lie and illusion burns away. It's our Phoenix moment. So beautiful. It says purity is a must. If your vessel, if your being is mixed with poison, pour it out and fill it with pure substance. It takes a long time to purify a vessel, one drop at a time. That, in my opinion, is too much trust in time. My friends, if we just let it, one drop at a time, like you can take a cup full of poison or say a colored liquid and drop pure water into it, one drop at a time. It takes a long time, but eventually it'll turn pure. It's so much easier to just dump it out. And sometimes these crisis moments that we go through, it's that dumping out like I went through, my friends. And I want to share one more story with you. You know, when I was in that cult in Texas, I ran into the guy that ran that many years later at a hotel. I've never shared this story with you, I don't think. And I knew it was still eating me up from the inside, and I knew that if I could forgive him, that it would bring a release. And so I saw him, and I thought to myself, he's not going to just apologize. I know this guy. So I'm going to go up and apologize to him for anything maybe that I had done that had wronged him. And then I was thinking in his mind, he's going to think, oh, that'll give me an opportunity to apologize to him. So I went up and I did that, and it didn't work. He just looked at me like, what are you talking about? You know, and he was, you know, just himself. And it didn't help. It made it worse. And what I had to end up doing, and that many of you are going to have to do, is you have to forgive someone that didn't ask for forgiveness. I didn't even know that was a thing. I thought they had to ask you for forgiveness, and then you would remind them of all the shitty things they've done, and then you think about it for a minute and say, do you know what? I'm going to take the higher road, be the bigger person, and I'm going to forgive your rotten ass. That was my mind of forgiveness at the time. I didn't get that with him, my friends. He didn't give me that opportunity to do that, and it's almost better that way. It's more pure and real if you can forgive someone that didn't ask for forgiveness. The teacher that bit me in nursery school never asked for forgiveness. The cruel drill instructors in the army never asked for forgiveness. I had to start forgiving these people. And a way that helped me do it was realize they were brought up in those matrix religions and the state and society and politics and ideas, my friends. And once they were a pure child that had been manipulated and brainwashed, and that's what came out of it, my friends. And so sometimes we have to forgive those that haven't asked for forgiveness. And we need to do it for ourselves. We need to do it because it's right, but we need to do it for ourselves to heal. And my friends, even after you've done that, I found it can still come up. When I read this little children's book the other day, it brought up all those feelings again. And I realized every day we must be born again. Every day we must forgive. Every day we must rise like the phoenix, my friends. Because you've heard that saying, forgive and forget. You can forgive, but good luck forgetting. We have an intellect, my friends. For myself, I'm not going to forget. I wouldn't. That's called brain damage, if you forget. But we have to remember and have compassion towards those people. That horrible monster that ran that cult in Texas. When I heard some of his backstory, his dad would actually tie him up bound to a post and beat him. And he starts to give you a little compassion to what he went through. Once he was just a child, wanted to live carefree and play and be a kid, but he was never given that opportunity, and it turned him into that monster. And can't I be a little loving and compassionate towards a story like that, my friends? We must not let these things, these crises, break us, but use them as an opportunity to rise higher. Another quote I want to leave you with from Nietzsche. He says, "One repays a teacher badly if one remains only a pupil." My friends, I'm going to ask for you, we got December 21st coming up, and we know that's another one of those breakthrough moments, just like 2012 was. The best way you could repay me if I've done anything good in your life is to stop being just a student. I mean, we're always learning, we'll always be students, but to become a master and a teacher yourselves, my friends. And to do that, you're going to have to rise like the phoenix. You're going to have to forgive those who haven't asked for forgiveness. You're going to have to love people that are downright unlovable, my friends. But that's part of your transition to becoming a master. Guys, I love you so much. I'm proud of you. I hope this helped. We'll see you next time.